Hi there, thanks for tuning in. This is December 9th trade review. One trade on this day. Super patient, big winner. Really liked the big picture thinking here. Coming into this day, flipping on the computer, what happened overnight into the morning, downward trend, not a lot of pressure. See the reason I really like the EMAs for a quick visual is this is a fairly flat downward trend. It's not real aggressive. It's not a steep line like this one. Market opens with this monster bull candle. RSI got way overextended. I really wanted to be short right through here on these three pivots. I couldn't find anything. I wanted to get short on this pullback to major support and resistance. I couldn't find anything. I did not think this was going to be a major trend reversal. I really thought this was going to be, 50% pullback halfway into the range and then pop back up. So my mind was probably thinking long, and when I couldn't get an entry through here, I gave up on a short. Then we clearly had the major trend reversal once we broke out the bottom. This was this blue line here, this lighter blue line at this angle. I did take a screenshot of a squeeze chart so you can see it better. So this is going back to the day before, but we had this nice trend line. And I just marked out this pivot, but we had this nice trend line. And once we approached it, I thought, okay, I'll look for some sort of short setup if we break it. So we did break it right in here. And we had a few wicks kind of close right on that thinner blue dashed line. Here, this one was close, and then here. So and then the market dropped, and I was looking for a pullback, but I really wanted to see a pullback to one of two places. Here, minimum, to close up these wicks, and I would have loved to pull back to that angled blue line, which would have been back to the trend line. But anywhere close, I would have been happy with. So after my blue line, which represents 10, I don't know, 10, 10, 10, 15, that's where the trade was, that's where I looked for the trade. Now this is my squeeze chart. Let's get rid of this and pull back up this right here. So yeah, I was looking for that pullback to here or here, and this was the pullback, and more precisely, this was to the tick. So this was like a perfect pullback to this thin dark blue dashed line that closes up two old wicks. And now it could have gone higher, but that's a place where I then feel confident that we could drop from there. So I didn't necessarily get my favorite diverged setup, but we broke the trend line, we pulled back, we closed wicks. We had so many reasons why this trade wanted to work. So on actual entry, no divergence, no setup off of this. But that's the beauty about not relying on indicators and relying more so on price action. This trade was not taken because an indicator told me to. This was taken because price action told me to, and price action will never lie. So as you can see, I did change my strategy, my ATM strategy a little bit. Now I'm running four targets instead of three. And every time I add a contract, I don't want to just keep adding a target. But on the flip side, every time I add a contract, I do add a target. I don't know. I guess I like four. We'll see when I go to five contracts if I can stick to four targets. But now I'm running 50, 65, and 100 as fairly generic. I will move this one around, not generally lower or greater, I should say. But for example, if target 3, which was 100, was maybe here, I would move it up to less profit to get above this pivot because we know how we can react to these pivots. So I want to lock up the easiest profits as quick as possible. Entry for a second, great entry. I mean, anytime I can be under 60 ticks on my stop and still be in a good placement of stop, I'm thrilled. So we kind of smashed all three targets very quickly. A minute 42 seconds to go 25 points or 100 ticks. And then it was a bit of a wild ride. Again, it's because of this pivot. Um, Not ultra happy with my exit here. I did give up 30, or sorry, 270 down to 255. Yeah, I don't know, 15, probably 60, 70, 80 ticks, something like that. Um, just I moved my stop down, which sometimes it works to my benefit, sometimes it doesn't. There was just no good reason. I really do like to watch my order flow once I'm in the trade, and there was no reason to get out here, but I moved my stop to just above this major support and resistance, but I mean that's way too close. It should have been up here. Or I should have just left it alone and been prepared to manually close if this picture changed drastically, but it didn't. So I did give up a little bit of profit on this. Probably $15 or something. Not a big deal, but I it can't be about the money. You can't trade for the money, and clearly I was trading for the money on this last target. I was worried about giving up some profit. And as long as the trade is still shaping up properly, I'm trying very hard to just keep myself in the trade. So anyway, super pumped with this trade, 98% happy with this trade, this little gaff right here. Other than that, super pumped. Really patient. The day before, the day prior to this, I was not happy with my trading, so um, I've really improved my ability to bounce back from poor days. And yeah, this was another example of that for myself. So really happy. And yeah, that's it for today. Just the one trade, $173 profit off 4 micros. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at our next trade review.